Hi guys, welcome to LiveTutelage. In our previous session, we have discussed of something like files. So how to copy or how to read a file and write the content into our console. Now in this session, we are going to discuss something called list boxes. Okay. So in this session, I am going to discuss of list boxes. How to create a list box through our Java program. We know that list box is nothing but a box which will consist some kind of set of items. So where user can select from multiple choice, right? Multiple choices, you can just select any one. So that is something called a list box. Okay. So even your Java provides that. See, for example, if you observe this kind of arrow here, if I select here, I have an options, right? And if I select this particular down arrow, I have an options, which is nothing but a kind of a list box. Okay. So we are going to write a program for that. So for that we have to remember three packages. So the first line is util. So for all util related classes and methods, what we are going to use the string. Okay. So all IO util related classes. Okay. And the second is a swing. So for doing of our list boxes, and we need to use a string. I have already told you swing is a package which consists all the fields, say like text box, labels, buttons, okay, list box, combo box, right? So all kind of fields which is useful for our graphical user interface, that fields consist or that fields are available in the package called swing. And util is a normal package where you are going to use a normal string operations. Okay. So the third line is java x.swing.event. So what is this event? Events are nothing but a classes which are useful for applying any actions on this field. Say for example, I have a label or a button or list box. What if I select something from a list box? What happens if I click the button? Right? So what happens if I just select any text? What action to be performed? So that is known as an event, and that actions, whatever the actions, if you want to apply for all your string fields, that classes and the methods are available in your event class of the swing package. So you have to remember the packages when we are going for graphical user interfaces. This is very important. You need to import two methods. One is swing for displaying a frames or for displaying some scrolling option, for displaying some kind of a list box, combo box, buttons, text boxes, labels. All fields are inbuilt in the package called swing. Right? And inside the swing you have another package which is an event, which is useful to apply actions for all my labels, buttons, list boxes, all the fields, whatever is available for our GUI. Okay, event class is for applying some actions, swing class is for displaying the fields of the package swing for our user interface. Now here, coming to the first line, so this is my class of example of Jlist. So which is extends JFrame. JFrame is a frame. JFrame is a class. Okay, from this class I am going to inherit my class so that I can use the methods available in JFrame. And JFrame is available in your swing class, swing method, swing package, right? In the swing package, you have a class called JFrame, and from the JFrame, I am going to access all the methods or all the classes which is available for my program. So for example, the Jlist, the next line itself states a private Jlist, string course list. This is again something like declaring a data type of A. Right? Here I have declared Jlist as a string, and the name of the Jlist is a course list. And what is this Jlist? Is a data type. What kind of data type? It is a list box type of data type. And where it is available? It is available in the class JFrame. And what for where this JFrame is available? And JFrame is available in the package of swing. Right? That is why we have imported swing.ascii, and I have extended the class from JFrame by using the inheritance concept. Now, this is the constructor. The constructor is used to initializing or for defining or for alerting or defining the methods or defining data. Right here, we have discussed from our previous sessions what is a constructor, what for we are using. Please go through my previous lecture on constructors so that it will be understandable easy of what is the constructor is. Now in the constructor, I have defined a kind of a data model. What is this data model? It is of string type. I'm going to store a string values in my list box. So list model is the name of my data model, and it is a new default list model. I have initialized and I have created an object for my list model. This is the object list model. Okay, and in this list model I am going to add all kind of strings. So here you can observe list model dot add element, which adds some elements into my list box. So add element is a method inside the class or inside a method called list model. Okay, and this list model is an object for the class of this default list model class, which is available in our swings package. Okay, now this is about our constructor, which I have added our items to the list. Now coming to the next is, I am going to create a list. This is only the assigning the values to my data model. Now what I have to do, I want to print in my panel. I want to print the data model for creation of the list. So this is a course list. So course list is a data type, or this is a variable for my list. This is a data type and variable is course list. For this course list, I have just created my model. So add the list model to the course list of type list box. Right. Now here for the same course list, I am adding some kind of action listener, which we have discussed from our strings concepts. If you go through our string concept sessions, you will understand what is an action listener. Okay. Here I have added list listener to add what action to be performed when you click something from the list. So for the syntax is add list selection listener of new list selection of listener. That means whatever that I am selected from the list box, you just listen and add it to your course list. This is about these two statements, right? So the first statement is creation of a Jlist, right? The second statement is adding the action listener for my Jlist. Okay. Now here, now coming to the third one, the value changed. This is a method for implementing the action which is performed for my action listener. Okay, this is a method which is implementing for doing some actions, for implementing some actions for the list box. So this is value changed. Value changed is a method, and now here the first statement is if get value is adjusting. So you can observe, see, if you find this is a kind of list box, you will have a mouse up and down for your list box, right? Whatever you are selecting, that is the final that you are sending it to this particular method. So that's why you are just saying if get value is adjusting, and now this is a method or this is a variable for selected value list. You are passing the value of your selected list to your variable called selected value list, and you are just printing it on the console. So I hope you understand this method. What for we are using? This method is used to display. This method is used to display selected value from list. Okay. Now here, this is something like a scroll pan. Scroll pan is nothing but a kind of this kind of scrolling. If you are having more than elements, so you need to have a scroll pan for your list. So this is the syntax for applying a scroll pan. So add new JScroll pan for your course list and set default close option. You'll have a close option for exit. Now this is a title Jlist example. So whatever that you want to give, you can give. So this is the title for your Jlist, and this is the size of the Jlist box, right? And set location relative is to null. That means initially it should be the value null, and this is visible true. That means after finishing off every class, even the buttons or the content panel or the layouts, you have to make it visible true. Otherwise, you will not see that particular list box when you are running it. Now coming to the main method, you have just created this as a runnable. So which is a swing utilities. You are running all the utilities of your swing which will run at the background for creation of your list. Okay, which you have already discussed about this in our previous sessions of swing concept, and this is a method called run. So for that run you have called this particular method, and in this method you just called your class called example list. Right? Now let us see how this works out. Now see here, you can find out this is a list box, right? So if I select it, it is displaying on my console, right? So if I select it, it is displaying on my console. Okay, so this is the close button what we have used. This is the panel of size. Okay, and we are making this as visible. Okay, now what happens? See, if I just delete this, make visible true. Make visible true. What happens to this is, when you run this, you cannot find that particular list box, right? So that is why you have to make it as visible true. So if you want to increase the size of your list box, you can just increase it, and you just can run your program so that your list box is being increased. Now whatever you have selected, it is displaying on the console. That is what your list listener, so that is what your list selection listener is doing it. Okay, now here what happens if I put it in comment? Okay, if I put this in comment, you can just run your program once again. You can just check it. You run the program, you will get an error, right? So because, okay, you just put it in comment. So this is a if class end. Now you just run your program, and you can observe. So from your list box, if I select this, see, it is displaying 2 times. When I select this, it is displaying 2 times. So you have to pass the value to your list listener that what you are going to select is the final value. It is a true. So don't display multiple displays, just display only once. That is why you need to use if not equal to get value is adjusting. Okay, now again I have to tell you one more thing. So far you have observed there is no scroll pan is displayed, right? So just try to add some more elements to your list. So you run your program. Now you just can find your scroll pan. See, this is your scroll pan. So whenever you are having a number of list items in your list box, so you can find out the scroll pan for your list box. Okay, so this is about the Java list boxes, Jlist, and this is how you can create a list box for our program. Thank you.